I don't know.
Hey, Jeff.
If we change this desk setup, you might be able to walk this way. Yeah. I think we're good.
Cool. 30. Fire up your mic and say hey to the book-face people. Oh, your mic is on.
Yeah, my mic's on.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, I've had it on for a few minutes because of the whole dropout thing from last week. So I figured I'd just test and work away, and hopefully it. Yeah. For those that were watching last week, is there any particular time at which I was not producing audio from the mic, not my mouth? Better clarify. Because there were some periods of dropout last week, apparently. Went both ways, Marshman, just in case you were thinking my left, your right. Hey, Storm Tracer 3000. Oh, well, listen, I can follow one instruction at the same time, Marshman. You said turn my head, so I turned it. If you wanted turning and talking, you had to specify.
Say hi to Bookface.
Hi, Bookface.
No, we're live in 10 minutes.
We'll be live in about 10 minutes. Just doing a mic check right now. Turning the head left and right. So if you're just tuning in, yeah, stick around.
Hi, buddy!
I think you should just put your mic on instead of...
I can do that.
I could use more coffee, thank you. I keep yawning. Yeah, whatever you got, whatever you're putting on, I'm good with. As long as it's coffee. I don't care too much. Good times. Oh, Grabba, that would be telling you all the goods if we told you what the topic was tonight. It's better to have you just keep guessing.
That's Jeff's way of saying he's not sure.
What are you talking about? I got the show notes right in front of me. I know exactly what we're talking about. Just not going to tell people ahead of time. It's a secret.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, man.
I think it's a secret for them. Because we know and they don't.
Fair enough, fair enough.
So therefore it is a secret. Ooh, ha 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 and LOL.
Both?
I got both.
Wow.
That's either a pity ha 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 or it was just so funny he had to go out it 2 different ways. Oh, I don't sing songs. That would not be pretty. But I'm happy to continually talk and, you know. Yeah. So, I mean, like, I'll talk. I'll tell people about stuff. Well, that's a good question. So, for those that are in the feed, we're testing my mic to see if it drops off. Robbie's currently getting his mic hooked up. And I'm just supposed to keep talking, and you're supposed to tell me if something drops in my audio feed. So what did I do today? I woke up this morning, and then I got ready for work. I had some breakfast, and I went to work.
I am eagerly waiting for the beat to drop.
And now I'm trying to talk over Robbie because he's trying to interfere with my ability to mic check. How
you said something was going to drop.
Rude. No, I said it
I was waiting for it.
No, I'm
Come
not.
on, Skrillex.
Okay, fine.
Give me a beat.
The pen dropped. All right.
Nice.
Is there any like audio drops? Everything sound good?
Everything.
Nobody noticed anything?
Other than the intentional audio drops? Doom, 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 doom. Boom, 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 boom.
You have way too much time on your hands.
I know. We got like 8 minutes.
According to that clock, we have an hour and 7 minutes. But that clock is not set for daylight savings time.
Yeah, whatever. That clock just tells us it's almost time.
All right.
You didn't notice the audio dropping there?
Oh my goodness, Marshman, I am sorry to hear that.
Yikes.
Wow.
Jeff's audio is good this week, though, is it?
I'm always good. It's the mic's audio that was the problem.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't have any vocal drops. You know, Marshman, just by you saying last week's audio was bad, gives me a throwback to like the late 90s where bad was good. I'm so glad we got past that stage. It was ridiculous.
How do you wake up Lady Gaga? Poker face.
Oh, that would do it.
What?
How
Are
do
you
you
talking to the computer again?
How do you wake up Lady Gaga?
How do you wake up Lady... Set an alarm?
Poker face.
Poker face. Oh.
And that is how we start the show.
That's funny.
You can tell the kids, aren't you?
Well, I'm sitting there thinking, you know what? I'm fairly certain I've just walked into my kids' room to wake them up on a Saturday morning just to bug them, and I'm pretty sure I have poked them. Not in the face, but more like, well, yeah. No,
Yeah. Well, this is a good opportunity.
It's like, hey.
But this is one you can use.
Hey.
Because it's topical.
LG. Oh, I can see your face in the reflection.
Can't read my poker face.
Oh, excuse me.
You are excused.
I hope the hiccups don't start. That was one.
Right at the beginning of the show. Hiccups would be annoying, like, because you can't really control it.
Wasn't there an episode where I got into a sneezing...
Did you?
Like, rant?
I remember a couple of the ladies having laughing fits, but I don't remember you ever having anything happen. That
Oh,
was...
I had a laughing fit over Luke's dump.
Yeah, but that was fairly controlled. I mean, we were able to move on. But that was good.
I think I had a sneezing bit one episode. It was
Yeah?
like the middle of your main feature or something.
Oh, of course it was.
It's like,
Oh, when you ran into the bathroom.
oh yeah, there was that too.
No, I was talking about the sneezing.
Yeah. No, it was
Why would
Sasha.
you say there was that too?
No, it was Sasha that had to step out and run to the washroom.
For sneezing?
Announced it on the show. That was the best
Oh,
part.
man. We'll miss Sasha tonight. Sorry she couldn't be here, folks.
Luke's dump was nothing like the cloud was Zoo. I don't think I know
Yeah.
that one.
The cloud. She thought it was so hilarious because this is when the cloud was just coming. Just starting up. And she
Really?
thought it was so hilarious that we were referring to a technology as the cloud.
I'd have to watch that one.
Yeah, it was quite good. Quite good indeed.
Yes, Marshman, I do remember that episode where Sasha had the giggles and I had to take over the news. It wasn't that long ago. I think that was last season, wasn't it?
Last week.
Yes, pretty much.
Oh, come on.
It's because Sasha's such a lighthearted, happy-go-lucky person.
All right.
I will say, Garby, that is the best. When Robbie's just standing there like, what am I supposed to do? I'm trying to do a show. It's great.
What, when you guys are laughing?
Yes. It's fun.
Yeah. I'm amazed that I have not had, like,
The giggles.
fits. Yeah, like,
Well, you're just too professional.
or sneezes, or even, like, like laryngitis or something.
Yeah, that's true. I think you've only taken... Well, there was that one show that Sasha and I did where you were
There was
sick.
one relatively recently where you guys filled in for me because I was sick.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. All set.
Oh, look. An email just popped up to let me know that the feed is live.
Hey, there you go.
Slightly behind.
Welcome, everybody.
But...
Like 1 minute. You good? You need anything?
I'm good.
I said all this and I have a sneeze that's just like right there.
Get it out, man. Get it out.
Live in 1 minute.
Ish.
Yeah, ish. Could
1
be an
minute
hour.
ish. I don't think we ever run on definitive time frames around here.
Not since we started post-processing.
That's true. Yeah, I have noticed that. With post-processing, now it's like, oh, it's an hour show. That
a little
goes
more casual
an
behind the
hour and a
scenes. Yeah, I got the timer here for when you go an hour and a half.
half. Yeah.
Thank
It
you.
all depends on if I get on a rant or not.
The only issue that we encounter is that the cable show is 1 hour long. So, and they cut the news out and air that on Tuesdays. So
Right.
if we go like an hour and a half, that means the news is probably a half hour of that, which means we're at an hour, which means we're about 15 minutes over because they have to be
Right.
able to air commercials, right?
That's right. So you need to find stuff to cut out.
Because we're on cable TV in select neighborhoods. You can talk to your cable channel and tell them, hey, we've got this really cool show that is freely available to cable TV for broadcast. They can pick us up. We provide all the files once a week. All right, ready for it?
Good to go.
All right. It's all you, buddy.
All right. Our live recordings are trusted only to solid-state drives by Kingston Technology. Revive your computer with improved performance and reliability over traditional hard drives with Kingston SSDs.
Category 5 TV streams live with Telestream Wirecast and Nimble Streamer. Tune in every week on Roku, Kodi, Plex, and other HLS video players. For local showtimes, visit Category5.tv.
Category5.tv is a member of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here. Cat5.tv/TPN and the International Association of Internet Broadcasters. Cat5.tv/IAIB.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Nice to have you here again with us this week. We've got a fantastic show planned. First of all, been quite a week here at our studio.
That's an understatement.
Oh, well, first of all, going back about a week or so, the water main just up the road busted.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I've never had this happen. I've heard it on the news. People, you hear about it quite frequently.
Yeah.
But you never think about how it affects you. And there's no water.
Right.
And
we're kind of downhill, so if it floods this way...
Yeah, I don't think that was an issue.
No?
They turn off the mains, right?
Right.
So there's just no water.
Right.
But then when it comes back on, it's like brown. You can't drink it. So we're under a boil water advisory. But here at the studio, we don't have a kitchen, so it's not like we can. Not very appealing.
No.
So here in Barrie, that's affected a lot of folks. We're in Barrie, Ontario. And then, so they've got a whole section of road and main intersections blocked off. And somebody drove right through it, and people have been driving through it.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah. People have been driving through it because there's... And I don't know if that's the case in this particular case that I'm thinking of, but I was pulling out of the grocery store because the water main break was in front of the grocery store at a main intersection. And so I was turning away from the barricades. Two cars in front of me pulled through the pylons so that they didn't have to, because you have to kind of weave around.
Come on.
So it just kind of, oh my goodness. So needless to say, somebody did drive through, and I didn't see it happen. This was another day, and actually put their car into the hole.
And she ended up passed away.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So just
Very
like,
unfortunate.
we got to be patient, folks, like these kinds of things.
Yeah.
Kind of made me think, I've got such a technical mindset, and immediately I started thinking about backups. And I started thinking about how impatient people can become. And I don't have time to run my backups this week, and then it turns into a month and 2 months, and because it's time consuming, and there's time crunches, and so the IT department doesn't have time to run the backups. So we got to go through the shortcuts.
Yes.
Only to find that we are the ones that land in a hole and don't survive.
It is true. The parallels are true.
Yeah. But I don't know how I made that connection. It just, to me, in my mind, that's so that started off the week here in Barrie.
So then from there, you decided to just
go about my day. Just go about my day as I normally would. So I come into the studio and I do our post-process editing, and I send those files to various servers around the world. We have RSS feeds. We have our YouTube channel. Of course, we're also on cable TV, KVVB, television for the high desert. Nice to have you here. So I send these files once a week. And so I came in on Monday to do my editing.
Yep.
And as I approached the studio, the front door of the studio was propped open. Now, not our studio door.
But the building.
The building. So we actually rent a space in a large building, and the foyer was open.
Yes.
And so, no big deal. Somebody working in one of the other units is bringing something in or whatever. So I came into the studio and sat down to do my Monday morning edits. And about 10 minutes in, so this is my excuse for why last week's newsroom is still not up on the website. 10 minutes into my editing, a bird started flying around Studio D. Not like a little baby bird that is like fumbling around. No, this is a full-size daddy bird. And so needless to say, I spent my Monday, doing my level best to humanely capture this bird. Yeah. So that was my day, and so I'm well behind schedule with a lot of things. And then today, even I said to Jeff, I said, okay, well, before you get in, I have to scrub the bird poop from various surfaces and everything else. So I jokingly said, the studio needed a deep cleaning. So
yeah.
Yeah.
And even after the clean, We're still finding more spots.
Are we?
Well, we got the curtain over there.
The curtain had, yeah.
Like, come on, bird.
It was a nightmare. Have you ever had to go through that?
And
like,
not with a bird in the house. I've had bats in the house, but thankfully they're pretty clean.
Yeah, a bat. Can you just capture it with a net or something?
Oh, you just threw like a small towel over it. Then you take the towel outside and let it go.
Okay. Well, see, that sounds easy.
Yeah.
Comparatively.
Not so much with a bird in the middle of the studio full of cameras.
Oh, did I mention we're in an industrial complex? And in an industrial complex, the air ductwork is kind of wide open.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. So the bird kind of got up into the ductwork. And so that compounded the problem. But remember, I'm looking for a humane solution. I didn't immediately crank the heat.
Yeah.
So needless to say, I saved the bird.
It's somewhat.
I came up with a solution. I used a Wise Cam pan in order to save the bird.
How did you come up with this idea?
How did I come up with this idea? You'd have to watch the vlog in order to find out. I recorded as much as I could.
It's like 10 minutes long.
Once it was okay to do so. So if you want to check that out, hey, you can find out how I was able to save the bird with a Wise Cam and a little ingenuity.
That's funny.
And maybe you'll get some ideas on how you can capture a bird if it ever came down to it. I actually came up with something pretty cool, I think, and it worked out really well.
I just love that you ended up trapping it in the washroom.
That was my Monday. So here we are, it's Wednesday, time to do a great show. Before we jump right into it, make sure that you subscribe to us on YouTube and click that bell to receive notifications whenever we're live or when we post new exciting content. Today, we are going to be checking out our BitTorrent server.
Yes.
I built this back on episode number 597 with Sasha, so you haven't seen it yet.
That's right. Yeah.
So this, Jeff, is awesome. I'm just going to reach forward here because I've actually got it running on an Ethernet cable with the power going to it. So this is an Odroid HC1. Okay. And the HC1 has something really great in that it has an SATA backplane. So I, in fact, have a full 1 terabyte Kingston SSD running inside this single board computer chassis. You'll notice I also have added the battery. So I added a real-time clock battery. They're like a couple bucks, so I thought, hey, I better add that because when the power is lost to the device, I don't want to have to figure out why it's not getting its updates or why stuff isn't working, because if the clock reverts to 2016, then you have all kinds of weird anomalies. So, but needless to say, I set that up as a seed server, and in fact, Odroid Magazine has published in the April issue my write-up about how to set that up. Cool. So if you look at Odroid Magazine, April 2019, you can follow along the steps that are there. They're very detailed, and it's very copy and paste, and explains how you can, in fact, set this up.
Nice.
It's not just for Odroid HC1s, this particular type of single board computer.
Right.
But this, I think, is the perfect solution. It uses an SD card to boot from and where the software resides, but then all the storage for the BitTorrent files, the downloads, go onto the SSD.
Right.
So you're not saving those to like an SD card or an eMMC card and running out of space right away. As I mentioned, this is a 1 terabyte. Well, 960 gigs. It's 960 gigs for a solid state drive.
That's
and
awesome.
It's like a consumer Kingston drive. So I'm going to hop on to our server. So I've actually got this connected to my network right now at 10.0.0.145. And if I go :9091, and then the default username and password is transmission. Transmission. And this is going to show us what my BitTorrent server looks like right now. So Jeff, you can see I've got a couple of things still downloading because I'm seeding NEMS Linux. You can see there near the bottom, and up near the top, I'm seeding Category5 complete seasons. So seasons 1 through 11 are all going to be seeded by this little box. So if people want
to... ton of content.
Right. It's pretty much, it's practically filling a 1 terabyte drive. But that makes sure. So if you download Category 5 Technology TV from torrent.category5.tv, it's a free way to get our content, and it's absolutely legal because us, the content creators, have released it to you free of charge. So it's free for you to download. So there are numerous seeds, so people who are sharing those files with the public as a way of supporting what we do by sharing it with others. And if all else fails, if there were no other seeds, say, or maybe if there are 10 seeds and ours just happens to be closer to you, you may in fact be downloading it from our little HC1 server.
Look at that.
That's how BitTorrent works. And you may download half of it from our server and half of it from another person's server. And it could be anything. But that's kind of how that works. So it ensures that there's always a copy of Category 5 TV on our seed server so that if someone tries to download it, it's there. It's available. No matter what.
I love it.
I love it too, Jeff. So these are the torrents that I have on there right now. So it's all our own content. It's NEMS Linux as well. That's a distro that I create. And you can see, okay, so I've got all of season 1. So, hey, I'm really into those old webcam videos that Robbie used to make out of his basement.
The pre-4K.
This was before 16K was a thing. Actually, this was like a 320p, 4/3. We're not even going to get into it. But it goes right up to season 11, and you see that it's still queuing for verification because I actually did some work on the server today, so it's just kind of reloading a few things. But you can get like season 5, season 6. But now that I've downloaded these, Jeff, what options do I have? I can pause it because, you know, remember, all that I'm looking at here is my BitTorrent system.
Right.
So I can add new torrents and download them, and it will download to the SSD.
Right.
And then I can share it with other systems, but I have no access to them. In order to,
unless you actually log into that and run it.
But you can't, because there's no there's no monitor on an HC1. There's no HDMI output or anything like that. It is literally just a server.
Right.
There's no Plex server built into it. It's just a basic Debian install with transmission daemon running.
Okay.
That's it. And we've mounted an SSD as a mount point in /home/Robbie/SSD/torrents.
So then how do you get in?
How do we get in? That's the question, and that's what we're here to learn today as we take this tutorial to the next step, which is to gain access to those files. So now that I've got these downloads these downloads have happened, they're there. Now, let's actually make it so that we can access those.
Cool.
I'm going to actually SSH into that server. My login is Robbie. My password is 1234, as you know.
Sounds very secure.
Absolutely. And I'm just going to get a nice little close-up shot there for you guys. I'm going to switch modes for just a second. Don't say anything in Discord just yet. I mean, if you want...
Oh, they already said something.
Oh, it's
Stop
okay.
Talking.
Just don't talk too much, because then it won't be a seamless edit.
Stop talking.
But let's give you guys like a real nice close-up of this thing.
Pause all conversation.
Anyone who talks is banned for life. Okay, I just want to get a nice little close-up for you. See what I'm doing here? Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just over on the Wirecast server here.
It's slightly... We're missing the first...
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I'm getting there.
Oh, stop talking!
Oh, guys. Y'all are hopeless.
Come on. Ah.
It's not like this is a live show where you could just talk when you want to. Come on.
And I want to write, stop talking, but I can't.
Okay, I'm going to set up. I'm going to call this... You watch the keypad there. Watch this. This is cool. Laptop close. See that?
No?
The keypad. The camera switcher. Hello, Jeff.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's okay. I don't expect you to notice.
Well, you like keypads, so I'm looking at the keyboard, then I'm looking at the screen. And
So he looks at his phone. Okay, while I'm here, I'm going to restart Discord because that's what I do.
all right, that way it doesn't freeze.
That's right. Yeah, Jeff knows what I'm
they're talking. Come.
Stop it.
You guys are pointless.
Instructions.
I'm sorry that I made this so difficult for you.
There.
What did they say?
Well, a Skywriter and then Albuquerque Turkey and the Foo. They were all just chatting away.
Oh, you guys.
Come on.
All right. Where was I? All right, let's get a nice little close-up shot here for you.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so first of all, so now I'm just logged into my SSH terminal session. So there's really not a lot to do on this box because all I have is, so let's go into home/Robbie, and you see, Jeff, there's a folder called SSD, and in that is torrents. And if I go into torrents, whoa.
So it's pretty vanilla.
Yeah, it is very vanilla. So those are my downloads.
Okay.
Okay. So now what I want to do is I want to actually be able to access it from my Windows computer, my Mac, my Linux machine. On my machine here, of course, I'm on Microsoft Windows. You could be on anything. The commands are a little bit different. But on Linux, or on Windows, pardon me, we know that the command to access a Samba share, a network share, or a NAS, is / and then the IP address, 10.0.0.145. And I'm going to hit enter on that.
Okay.
And I'm going to time out, and it's going to say, well, there's nothing there, right? Because we've never set anything up for that. So what we want to do is we want to now take this to the next level. So our BitTorrent server is not only going to be a BitTorrent seed server, it's now going to also become a NAS. Network attached storage, and a network attached storage device allows us to access it through our Samba shares. So Windows cannot access it, check the spelling, blah blah blah. That's because it doesn't exist yet. So let's jump back over to here and let's go sudo su. That's going to help us to become root, and I'm going to type my password, and I'm going to type apt update. If my clock is set correctly, this should go through pretty well. If you get an error about the certificate being in the future, something like that, then you know that it's because your clock is setting correctly. It actually looks like one of our hosts there is in fact down because it looks like it's timing out.
Yeah.
And that can happen because, you know, if a particular host that's in the sources list is not available, there you go. Could not connect to that particular one. That's okay. That's different from that's a timeout because of theirs. Oh, but now look at what I'm seeing. Release file. Updates for this repository will not be applied. Invalid for another 55 days.
Oh, come on.
It happened to me. So I plugged in the battery, Jeff, but I didn't reset my date. Look at this. February 14th.
Oh.
What's today as we record this?
It's the 10th. April 10th.
I do this kind of on purpose sometimes because I want you to see how to resolve these issues.
So you're making problems?
No, but when a problem happens, I want you to see why and how to fix it. I'm not going to fix it before I do the show, and we could be that show. There are a lot of shows out there on YouTube that it's perfection. But then as soon as you hit a snag like this, you're like, well, I did apt update and it won't do it.
Right.
Now what do I do? And then you've got to dig in. I'm going to show you what the problem is. So I mentioned it. What we want to do is head on over to my blog, which is baldnerd.com/nerdgasms. And in my Nerdgasms list, you will see a tool called Set Linux Time and Date. Pretty simple, right? Highlight the first line, copy it to your clipboard, and this is actually running the command to set the time and date accurately to the current time and date. So I just pasted that into my terminal, and now April 10th, 7:18 p.m. as we broadcast this Eastern time. So now let's do apt update, and let's see if anything is different. We're still timing out at mdrjr.net. Looks like that server is just happens to be offline while we're broadcasting live, and there's nothing I can do about that. I could comment it out if we felt we didn't need it permanently. Sometimes that can happen, but they may be down for maintenance or something like that. And when I say comment it out, you could comment it out of your /etc/apt/sources.list file, or there's a sources.list.d folder where there could be some files residing as well. That error is different than the one that we received afterwards.
Oh,
so
that seemed to work.
That worked, except failed to fetch mdrjr.net. That's Maverick's repository, could not connect. So Their server just happens to be down right now.
Right.
You may not encounter that one. It's not related to the time problem, but you notice that the time issue, being 55 days in the future, is not an issue any longer. So now I can type apt install Samba. S-A-M-B-A. Get a little closer in there for you. Apt install Samba. Reason that I want to do apt update first is because it's going to now make sure that I'm getting the most current version from the repository.
Makes sense.
It gets the new repository list. It's telling me it's got all this junk to install. The main thing that I want to check here, of course, these are called dependencies on Linux. These are things that are required in order to have Samba. Just double check where it says to remove, 0 to remove. If that said 1 to remove or 5 to remove, then I need to look a lot closer and make sure that the things that are being removed are not going to break something else that I use on my system. Sometimes that can happen. In this case, it's not going to remove anything. It's only going to install 34 newly installed applications or tools. And I'm going to say yes. And it's also going to upgrade, incidentally, 14 of those for me. So here it goes. It's installing this tool called Samba. Samba is an implementation of the SMB protocol. So SMB is what allows Windows networks to share files. So the lay term that you might be familiar with would be Windows file sharing.
Right.
When you right-click on a folder and you type and you press share and then you give it a name, torrents, now you can access that from any computer on the network. That's through the Samba protocol, yes. SMB. Yeah. So Samba is the Linux implementation of that protocol. This is asking if we want to use WinS for DHCP. We don't need that. I can just say no, whatever. And carry on. Here we go. It's installing its thing. So this again is a very vanilla install. I've got a couple of little issues here and there, but it's nothing to write home about. It's a very basic Debian Buster install, as a matter of fact, because this is the new Bald Nerd base image that you can get at baldnerd.com. While we're waiting for that to install, I can in fact show you that new page.
Ooh, please do.
If you go to baldnerd.com and you click on single board computers, and then you'll see SBC build base. And there are builds, so these are Debian Buster right now, because here's the thing, I found that everything that's available is Debian Stretch, Debian 9. I want Debian 10.
Right.
It's under feature lock. It is going to go stable very, very soon. I don't want to wait for it to be released 6 months from now. It's there now. So I've actually compiled and released my own distros powered by NEMS Linux and the tools that I've built there. So we've got Debian 10 for A64 Plus from Pine 64, Rock 64, A64 LTS, SoPine, Odroid N2. That board is not even available yet, but it's got an OS. XU3, XU4, HC1, HC2. That is what this one is running right now, the HC1 build. NanoPi M4 and the ASUS build base has the Tinker board and the Tinker board S as well. So those are build base images of Debian 10, completely unrelated to this demonstration, but I want you to know that those are there if you ever want to build a server, or if you need a base image for a Linux distribution that you're creating. That's a good way to do it. A lot of the work is already done for you. That is done installing, so Samba now exists. So presumably, does that mean, Jeff, that I can now just simply go over there? 10.0.0.145. Sure enough.
Oh, look at that.
I didn't get the error this time, but what do I see?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Now, is that a permissions thing?
No, it's that I haven't created any shares yet. Samba's running.
Right. Yeah, okay.
But there's no shares.
Right.
Well, this is a little server with no monitor. It has no GUI. There's no mouse or keyboard connected to it. How the heck do I now right-click on the folder and tell it to share?
Can you SSH?
That's what we're used to, right? Well, I'm already SSH'd in, so good guess. That's definitely how we're going to do it. But it's not going to be done through a UI whatsoever. I'm going to go nano. Okay, first of all, look at the folder that I'm currently in. I want you to observe that. That's important. /home/robbie/ssd/torrents, because that's where all my torrents reside, remember? So that's the folder that I actually want to gain access to.
Right.
So yours may be different. Your name's probably not Robbie, so it might be /home/Jeff/SSD, if that's what you called your mount point, /torrents. So Keeping that in mind, let's go nano/etc/samba/smb.conf. And that file now exists. It wouldn't have before we installed Samba, but I want to actually get to the bottom of the file. So I can sit here, click, 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 or in Nano I can hit Alt/, and that will take me right to the very bottom of the file. And I want to create my first share. So we're going to do that longhand. I'm going to call this torrents. So I'm going to put a hard brace, torrents, and then a closing hard brace. Next line, I'm going to go read only equals yes. And the reason I'm doing that is I don't want anyone to be able to make changes to my torrent download folder. Why? Because those are seeds.
Exactly.
If somebody renamed a file or changed any little bit of the structure of anything or entered a folder and their Windows machine dropped thumbnails cache, now all of a sudden that seed is corrupt because the checksum no longer matches. So in this case, I want this to be read-only because we're doing torrents. Locking equals no. Probably not necessary, so we're not going to get into it. Path equals, well, because it's not necessary, let's just delete it. Path, this is what I mentioned before. This is where the files are located, where the folder is that I want to share. This is what I'm right-clicking on right now. Put it in quotes. That's going to save you a lot of grief if you have any odd characters like spaces. Home/Robbie/SSD/torrents. Next line. We have to make a decision. Do we want guest access or do we want them to have to log in? In my network, I want them to have to log in. So I'm going to say guest OK equals no. No! Valid users equals, do you remember my username, Jeff?
Robbie?
Yeah, that's right. Enter it just like it is on your Linux system. Username is Robbie. That's it. I think I'm done. So now, if I close this, the next step is that I need to restart Samba in order for the change to take effect, because I just changed the entire what's shared. So system ctl restart smbd, and now it's done. If you didn't have any errors, you won't see any errors. If you type system ctl status smbd, it should say active running. So now let's jump back to my Windows Explorer here and type //10.0.0.145, and now I see torrents.
Oh, look at that.
And I'm going to click on it, and yes, I do things incorrectly so that the viewers at home can do it too, and then you're going to learn why this is not going to work. Okay? So keep that in mind. I'm going to use my username, Robbie, which is what I told it is allowed, and enter my password. Enter. What? Surprise! It's not working.
Is that because you didn't put your password in?
No, I entered my password. I just put it in. My Linux user, right? And I told Samba.
The Linux.
It's my Linux user password. It's what I use to SSH in and everything else. Oh, but wait, Jeff, I forgot.
That was horrible acting.
It's an amazing, amazing moment right there. Jeff, I forgot. Samba uses a different user database than Linux. So I need to create a Samba user.
Right.
So let's do that. Okay, back at SSH. So here we go. I'm not going to touch anything on my Windows system there. I want to leave that password prompt up. Let's type. You ready for this? SMB password, because for some reason password is wood in Linux. So SMB PASSWD -A. We're adding, who are we adding, Jeff?
A user?
A user?
Oh, you want me to come up with a name for them?
Well, what's my name?
Oh, your name's Robbie.
I want it to match my Linux user. So yes, I am Robbie. Now, okay, we're setting up an SMB password for the user Robbie. What's my password? I'm going to make it match my user. Same password. I don't have to make it the same password. But now, added user Robbie to Samba. Back here on Windows, I haven't changed a thing. I'm going to hit OK. Boom!
Now you're in.
Now I'm in. Now I have read-only access to my Samba share, which is the SSD's torrents folder that my BitTorrent client is able to save to. Okay?
So now is somebody's BitTorrent client going to have permissions to access
We covered that on episode number 597.
Okay, then.
The permissions
No,
issue.
but I mean, by making this change now, it's not going to change anything with that setup.
It's read-only.
Okay.
So my settings that I've created here, I'm not able to write anything to that folder, so permissions are not going to be an issue. If I was doing a read-write operation, then I would need to specify which user is going to be creating those files. It's not the case here because it's only read-only. So let's actually, I mean, the final test, really, Jeff, is to see, does it work? So let's go into something reasonably current, Season 11, and just double-click on any file. And there you go.
There we go.
There we are on the green screen.
Oh my goodness, I forgot about the green screen.
Yeah.
Wow, and I have no beard.
No beard at all.
So baby face.
Yeah.
Was that seriously only season 11?
Look at that. So,
Wow.
so
And you had
it runs super well. So now, ladies and gentlemen, taking it to the next step, our BitTorrent server is now also a network-attached storage.
So you could you link these files now to something like Plex if you wanted to watch these on
Oh, Jeff, you're going to have to watch episode 3. Yes, you can. You could point Plex to the Samba share that we just created and add that as part of your media library.
Beautiful.
Done. That's if you already have a Plex media server.
Right.
If you don't already have a Plex media server, we are going to be covering how to install that on our Odroid HC1, making it a 3-fold system.
Oh my goodness.
But Jeff, we've got to take a quick break. Do you want to send us off?
Sure, yeah. We're going to take a quick break. When we return,
It's right there.
we'll check if a dead network switch is worth fixing or should we just replace it.
Speaking of bad acting, stick around.
It was bad reading.
Oh, bad reading. As long as it wasn't bad writing.
That's true. That's fair. Yeah. I don't get paid enough to do this.
Isn't it nice when a demonstration works,
Yeah.
even though we're live?
It's good times.
'Tis good times, Jeff. 'Tis!
This coffee ain't working.
Yeah.
I'm still tired.
Jinxed it. Everything else for the rest of the show is going to be destroyed. Welcome back, everybody. Now, Jeff, I use a lot of single-board computers. Of course,
Yeah,
I
you do.
showed you earlier in the show that I have now single-board computer bases for Debian Buster for all kinds of single-board
much everything.
computers. NEMS Linux now supports 14 different platforms.
It's awesome.
So I am constantly, you remember the old patch panels of the days gone by in the studio? We'd be pulling cables and moving things around and
Oh, I remember this.
connecting callers, and so that's kind of what my switch room looks like right now. My server room, if you will. It's a rough-in bathroom, but hey, it does the job.
Works.
But I am completely out of network ports. I
Well,
have
yeah.
so many single board computers that I'm always connecting and working on and building for, and then sharing those images that I create. So I want to get a new network switch. I want to get one that is going to have 16 ports. That'll cover me.
Yeah.
I've got 14 NEMS Linux servers online right now that I'm having to, patch in and then unplug when they're not in use.
Sounds like
16
you need
will
more
get me
than
by.
16 then, because you're going to be adding more.
Well, remember, I want to add 16.
yes.
So I'm going to
Adding
supplement
16.
what I
Okay.
already have
Right, okay.
with another 16. So a 16-port switch would do
That'll keep you
real
going
well.
to the end of the year.
Yeah, at least. So but they're $50. Anyways, for like a 10 over 100 cheap, good switch.
All right.
You can get gigabit switches, that's fine. But for what I'm doing, 10 over
Don't need
100
anything
is going to be fine. Fast Ethernet is great. So I have one, Jeff,
All right.
that was given to me a long time ago because
I was going to say, that looks old.
this is a DSS 16 Plus from D-Link. It's just a rack mount switch.
Saying
It's
it
not.
doesn't look current like this year.
Oh, we didn't unbox it.
Yes.
Yeah, I see. But it was given to me because it doesn't work. Doesn't do a thing. You plug it in and it just doesn't even power on.
Really?
Yeah. So let's throw it out, right? Let's put that in the landfill and see if it decomposes.
Most people do.
Yeah, but do we need to do that?
No.
Should
of
I
course
just
not.
go to Amazon and spend $50 plus tax plus shipping, whatever else?
I'll fix it.
Or should we see if it's worth tinkering?
I feel like I should blow it up right now and say, throw it out.
I'm going to skip over here.
Really?
Yeah.
He
Fire
just
up my
did
cam,
that,
Jeff.
folks. The overhead cam?
Unboxing. And here I am. Ta-da! Okay, so this is just a 16-port dead switch that doesn't work whatsoever, doesn't even fire up. But the question that we want to answer is, hey, am I, and I'm using me as the example, but are you and I, capable of just making it go? Is there something we could do to make this work? Let's jump in here. And there you have it. That is the internal look of a D-Link DSS-16 Plus. See, Jeff, that was an unboxing of sorts. So we're going to get a quick look at the circuitry here. So the switch itself, everything looks prim and proper. Oh, Robbie's been in there before, you can tell. So looking at the caps, these are capacitors. Everything looks great. Yeah, everything looks perfect. It looks brand new inside, doesn't it?
It does. No
Not
dust.
a speck of dust. Let's get over to this unit over here. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is obviously... What do you suspect it is? Yeah, it's the power. This is the power supply. So the first thing that I noticed when I checked this out, Jeff, capacitor here is good.
Yeah.
These two capacitors have ruptured.
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
Can you see that? Why would that happen?
Power overload? Maybe they didn't have it.
Yeah, precisely. I mean, if there's too much power going through a capacitor, the electrons are going to shoot across from plate to plate instead of holding on the plate. It's not going to take a charge. Instead, it's going to the electricity is going to flow through it and burst the capacitor.
Right.
So these two capacitors are dead. They aren't going to operate, and it's not going to work. So let's see what we need to do here. Let's pull this apart. And I'm just going to... This is the ground screw here. You want to be careful when you're doing this because, remember, capacitors do hold a charge. So I have not had this plugged in a long time, but I'm still going to be very careful with those capacitors because they could hold a pretty good voltage in there that could give you a pretty good shock. I mean, a bigger one than this could be deadly. So please be very, very careful. Keep yourself grounded and know kind of what you're doing.
Kinda.
Yeah. Just know kind of what you're doing is a good start. You can tell them you heard that here. Get all the screws out so I can... Basically, I'm just removing the power supply. So the temptation tends to be, and an option is, in fact, that we could replace the power supply. Because
that would be the easiest route.
That would fix it, Jeff. And if you send it away to a repair shop that's going to charge you probably as much as I could buy it for, $50, then that's probably, that could be what they're going to do. But this is literally everything else looks perfect. So I've inspected the capacitors and resistors and everything else. Everything looks fine except for those two ruptured capacitors.
Right.
So I have discharged these, but you would never touch the contacts here because, as I said, they could have electricity still within the capacitor. We're going to be looking at that next week. Don't you worry, I'm going to show you how to discharge those safely. In the meantime, these capacitors being burnt out, what I need to do is I need to look at the capacitor itself, get really, really tight in here, and you're going to see a couple of things. First of all, the voltage is 10 volts. Okay? That's important. We don't want a 48 volt capacitor. And it's 1000 UF. So those are the capacitors that I need in order to replace this. So $50 to replace the switch. On Amazon, 5 of these particular capacitors, 10 volt, 1000 UF, are going to be $8.
Wow.
$8. So Tune in next week. We're going to see if my mad soldering skills is going to be enough to save this switch.
I feel like we need to have It's Alive
Maybe
on
we
standby.
will, Jeff. Maybe we will. Yes, I should transition.
Yeah,
Right.
you should probably walk in.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting.
we will.
I'm looking forward to that soldering job.
Yeah, so that I placed the order, and those capacitors are on their way, and I'm going to see if we can fix that. A very, very simple fix in contrast, when you look at the electrical components and what actually has to be repaired. But as I say, the temptation, and sometimes even you get in the forums on how do you fix, and the instruction is buy a new power unit.
Right, but
the whole circuit
the rest
board.
looked good.
Yeah, the rest is fine. Yeah. So presumably it's fine. So by removing those capacitors, it had a surge go through it or something like that. By removing those capacitors, which in essence protected the rest of the circuit, and replacing them with the exact same capacitors, we should be able to boot it. We'll find out next week.
I know
Don't
the chat
miss
room
it.
was really excited about soldering, so I think there's like a collective "aww" for this week.
Yeah, they just want to see Robbie fail.
Exactly.
No,
well,
I'm going to
talking
pass.
about the major
It's gonna
jolt,
be
and they're
amazing.
like, "This is going to be good."
Oh, this is going to be awesome. Stand back, everybody. Ready for it? Ready? High voltage. Stay away. We've got to take a really quick break. Folks, when we come back, we have something that you might want to add to your collection. So get your Starfleet uniform out. Don't go anywhere. That should be fun, eh?
Yeah. Use plenty of flux. Yeah, Jalen clearly remembered that episode.
Thank you. And yes, I will indeed be using plenty of flux.
All right.
Especially as I'm going to be desoldering.
Yes.
So because of that, I require flux. Otherwise, I'm going to end up destroying the joints, and I'm not going to be able to resolder. So,
all right.
okay.
So, do you need me to bring us back in?
Do you want to... Oh, man. Dream unboxing.
Oh, we're going to unbox from over here?
Oh, I wasn't supposed to go to commercial break. Was I? No, we were supposed to go right into the news.
We're supposed to go right in.
My mistake. Yeah. How could we take it from...
When you walk back in?
No, because we had too much of a conversation there. I'll just say, all right, we've got to head over to the news.
Okay.
My apologies. I'm not used to the new format clock, but now you guys know what's coming. Starfleet. That's going to be a lot of fun. We've got to head over to the newsroom. Jeff is on the news desk today.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Jeff.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm good.
Fantastic. Take her away.
All right, here are the stories we're covering this week in the Category5.tv newsroom. A piece of malware has been found on both iOS and Android that's been stealing contacts, audio, location data, and more for several years. Sony has created a colossal 16K screen, which will soon be on display in Japan. A newly discovered privilege escalation flaw in the Apache web server allows malicious users to gain root access to the underlying OS. And astronomers have revealed the first ever image of a black hole that exists in a galaxy called M87, and it's 500 million trillion kilometers away. These stories are coming right up. Don't go anywhere.
Nice.
Nailed it.
Mm-hmm. 16K.
16K.
You should touch on that. Like the question that you raised.
Yes.
Stop and say, like, let's think about that.
Yes. Okay. I can do that. I'm Jeff Weston, and here are the top stories we're following this week. A piece of malware has been found on both iOS and Android that's been stealing contacts, audio, location data, and more for several years. Researchers recently discovered a well-funded mobile phone surveillance operation that was capable of surreptitiously stealing a variety of data from phones running both the iOS and Android operating systems. Researchers believe the malware is so-called lawful intercept, and it's sold to law enforcement and governments. Exodus, as the malware for Android phones has been dubbed, was under development for at least 5 years. It was spread in apps disguised as service applications from Italian mobile operators. Exodus was hidden inside apps available on phishing websites and nearly 25 apps available in Google Play. In a report published 2 weeks ago, researchers at Security Without Borders said Exodus infected phones estimated to be in the several hundreds, if not thousand or more. Exodus consisted of 3 distinct stages. The first was a small dropper that collected basic information about the device, such as the IMEI and the phone number, and sent it to the command and control server. A second stage was installed almost immediately after the researchers' test phone was infected with the first stage and also reported to the control server. That led researchers to believe that all phones infected with Stage 1 are indiscriminately infected with later stages. Stage 2 consisted of multiple binary packages that implemented the bulk of the advanced surveillance capabilities. Some of the variants encrypted communication with self-signed certificates that were pinned to the apps. The binaries could also take advantage of capabilities available on specific devices. For one instance, one binary made use of protected apps, a feature in the highway phones, to keep Exodus running even when the screen went dark, rather than to be suspended to reduce battery consumption. A third stage would attempt to let Exodus again to gain root control over infected phones, typically though through the use of an exploit dubbed Dirty Cow. Once fully installed, Exodus was able to carry out an extensive amount of surveillance, including recording phone conversations, extracting calendar events, record audio or video, or take photos at will, view the address book or call log, read SMS messages, and more. That's a big list. The researchers say that their analysis of Exodus led to this discovery of servers that, in addition to Exodus, hosted an iOS version of the malware. The iPhone surveillance malware was distributed on phishing sites that masqueraded as mobile carriers. The iOS version was installed using the Apple Developer Enterprise program, which allows organizations to distribute in-house apps to employees or members using the iOS App Store. The apps masqueraded as mobile carrier assistance apps that instructed users to keep the app installed on their device and stay under Wi-Fi coverage to be contacted by one of our operators. It's not clear how many phones were infected by the iOS apps. The iOS variant isn't as sophisticated as Exodus. Unlike Exodus, the iOS version wasn't observed to use exploits. Instead, it relied on documented programming interfaces. It was nonetheless able to exfiltrate a variety of sensitive data. The researchers reported their findings to Apple, who swiftly revoked the enterprise certificate. The revocation has an effect of preventing the apps from being installed on the new iPhones and stopping them from running on infected devices. Similarly, when they reported their findings to Google, the infected apps were removed from Google Play. This is scary stuff.
Yeah,
the fact that it lasted for so long before being caught.
Well, and where is it from? I mean, the bottom line is, like, what is this surveillance app? Is it
right?
You mentioned that this is a product that can be sold to governments, for example, or, you know, who knows what this use case is?
No, at least they said it was only found on hundreds, possibly a couple thousand phones. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't like it was a mass spread, but that's where they knew
even
it to
still.
be.
That it exists. I think it just points out the fact that, okay, these types of exploits can exist. So if, and I use the government example, if a government was to want to surveil a certain group, mm-hmm. then could they not use this technology in order to do it? Yeah. Really goes to show the difference between iOS and Android as well, as far as the sophistication in their capabilities as a company to lock down their devices. Yes. Whether you like that or not, I don't particularly like the Apple's abilities.
Right.
But at the same time, in a case like this, the fact that a lot of people may have this exploit and not hear the news story.
Yes.
those people, if they're on iOS, are safe because it will not load on their phone anymore.
Right.
Those people on Android,
All they did was delete it from the store.
it can't install it now, but if it's already installed, it's still running. It's still listening to their conversations. So it really shows that a huge distinction between the two companies as far as how their control can be used for good.
I would hope, though, that both Apple and Android would contact whoever they think has accessed this app to say, you might want to get rid of this. Or at
The people, like
Yeah.
the users?
Yeah, because I mean, if I download
Again,
something,
who knows though? Like this could be
if I download
used.
an app through, say, the Google Play Store on my phone,
Yeah.
then there's a record of that. So then I should be able to be contacted through my Google account to say, you've downloaded this app, you need to uninstall it because there's a vulnerability to it. So I would think there should be some sort of check and balance communication system, but
Yeah.
maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah.
And it brings to question, though, because I mean, this is it was pulled from the Google Play Store, but there's other Android stores where you can get apps. And so it makes me wonder, was it pulled from them as well? Or was it just the Google Play? So
Yeah, and I just can't help but think of, as you're speaking about this, the case where the FBI was trying to get Apple to unlock an iPhone.
Oh, right.
Like, and so I just think about that, and I think, okay, so they're a legitimate entity trying to get access to. Well, what if legitimate government entities are using this type of, like, think of the NSA and the exploits in Eternal Blue on Microsoft Windows 10.
Right.
This is something that came with, if you upgraded to Windows 10 when it was first released, you had an NSA exploit in your computer. Nothing's free. Just so you know. So of course, when Eternal Blue was discovered, it was patched against and blocked, but
Right.
up until then, everybody was susceptible. So could it, if governments are using this as ways, and I only use that example because it just strikes me as this seems bigger than just some malware company, not in size, but in capability.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
something that is funded by something larger than just a hacker group.
right. Yeah, especially because it was funded for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
So
And it would have taken a massive amount of funding to do. Yeah.
very interesting story nonetheless. All right. Sony has created a colossal 16K screen, which will soon be on display in Japan. Sony's display contains 16 times as many pixels as 4K television and 64 times as many as a regular 1080p high-definition TV, meaning it can show images in far more detail than normal. This will let viewers stand close to the unit, which is larger than a bus, without its image looking blurred. One expert said it would take likely decades for 16K tech to filter down to consumer products. The 63-foot long by 17-foot high screen is currently being installed at a new research center that is built for Japanese cosmetics group Shiseido in the city of Yokohama, south of Tokyo. It's so large that it's going to stretch between the first and second floors. Now, Sony had previously designed a separate 16K display that went on show at Tokyo's Haneda Airport in 2014, but that looked like it was made up of dozens of smaller screens rather than presenting a single seamless picture. Now, the new supersized installation has in fact been created over several modular panels, but because they don't have bezels, they can fit together without any visible gaps to create the impression of being a single screen. Now, Sony calls the technology Crystal LED, which is its brand name for micro LED display tech. Samsung is also experimenting with the format. For now, Sony is pitching a range of smaller, low-resolution Crystal LED displays for use in office lobbies, car showrooms, cinemas, and theme parks. Since little 16K footage exists elsewhere, the firm has produced its own film for Shiseido showing life-size animal wildlife. The development was announced by Sony at the National Association of Broadcasters trade show, which is being held in Las Vegas this week. This is pretty cool. But
Category 5 TV now in 16K.
right? Like, I mean, we're used to 4K, so to think 16K.
I'm used to 1080p.
Fair enough.
And it looks great.
But like 16K, that's mind-blowing.
I think that the technology, Jeff, has such a potential for...
yeah.
Okay, first of all, yes, it's panels. Okay?
But
so
who
they're
cares?
bezel-less panels. No, who cares? I mean, they've made it so that it is absolutely seamless. So,
Right.
yeah, you can take two panels and butt them up against each other, and it's seamless as long as they're flush, right?
Right.
They're going to be mounted that way. So now these are portable, presumably. So, you know, you've got panels that can now be shipped in a spaceship. Just saying. So,
Okay, so you're talking like space advertising?
no, I'm talking, well, that's cool. Billboard in space on the moon. Our first ever billboard on the moon. I wonder what it would cost to get
Here
Category
at
5.
Joe's Diner.
There you go. How long are you staying? 2 weeks. Okay, so take these panels
Yep.
to Mars,
Okay.
build them into your home. So you've got a panel that is 17 feet high.
Yeah.
Okay, like a normal ceiling. Here, our ceilings are quite high at 10 feet. 17 feet high. Now, make that so that it is a natural landscape of Earth. And now, all of a sudden, we're doing away... And it's 16K. So I can walk up to it, and it's like looking out a window.
I would rather just stay on Earth.
But for those who don't, for those who go to Mars...
Yeah, fair enough.
Like
Yes.
to have that capability to be able to basically be looking outside from their living room, if you will. I mean, eventually
Right.
we're going to get there. And when we do, won't it be amazing to see more than just the dust clouds?
Well, that's true.
But they're portable panels.
You know what I...
Obviously, it's going to hit advertising first. Guaranteed.
Yes, for sure. But I'm thinking, like, I mean, in the news story, you talked about theaters. Like, imagine
Oh,
doing
yeah.
away with projection at theaters and having this massive panel
Whew.
that's 16K. I mean, like, it would change the theater experience.
Everything is digital now, so...
Right?
Yeah, it'll be neat to hear about the specifications as far as, like ghosting, for example. Is that still a thing with this? Is refresh rates? You know, what kind of refresh rates are we looking at? How many hertz is it flowing at? And
There's
how
the
many
power
frames per
consumption.
second?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but it's going to be low comparatively to a TV. Well, I mean, things are we're progressively getting that way.
Yeah.
I don't
But
know.
still, it's, you know, what I love about tech is that some things just get bigger and bigger, other things get smaller and smaller.
Isn't that weird?
But it's interesting. It's like, well, this is the thing we're going to go bigger with.
Yeah.
You know,
It's an ebb and flow, I think.
It really
We
is.
got like really big killer gaming rigs, and now we're into Raspberry Pis.
well,
It's just the way it's going.
I think of, you know, some of those movies, you know, where like they've got an entire wall that's a TV and you
Yeah.
can change what it looks like. And, you know, I'm thinking this could become like a standard feature in your $10 million homes where it's like, oh, it's got a picture wall. you know?
Sure.
And like, that'd
But-
be cool.
But they can make it, I mean, through really well done cinematography, adding depth of field and capabilities like that. So think about places like they could build a museum where you can go
Yeah.
back in the past, where you can go back in time or to the future and see, like, and feel like you're in that time because it's just. Do you see what I'm saying?
I totally see what you're saying.
Do you see what
I
I'm
feel
saying?
like just saying, yeah, with tech, anything's possible.
I know it's just a really big TV.
Yeah, my dad would be excited about that.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, bigger.
Sounds good. Need a bigger living room.
That's right.
Yeah.
A newly discovered privilege escalation flaw in the Apache web server allows malicious users to gain root access to the underlying OS. Apache is the internet's most widely used web server, and the vulnerability they just fixed makes it possible for untrusted users or software to gain unfettered control of the unfettered control of the software that the machine runs on. With the exploit, the attacker could do just about anything. The vulnerability makes it possible for unprivileged scripts to overwrite sensitive parts of the user's memory, and therefore a malicious script could exploit this to gain root privileges. The vulnerability poses the most risk inside web hosting facilities that offer shared instances, in which a single physical machine serves content for more than one website. Typically, such servers prevent an administrator on one site from accessing other sites or the sensitive information settings of the machine itself. If one of the users successfully exploits the vulnerability, they gain full access to the server, just like the administrator at the web host. Another risk is that this vulnerability allows other vulnerabilities to also gain root. An issue that previously had limited permissions would be able to be executed as root, allowing it to do absolutely anything with the server. The vulnerability affects only Apache version 2.4.17 to 2.4.38 when running on Unix-like systems, and it's estimated that around 2 million servers are affected. People who rely on Apache, particularly customers of hosts that provide shared instances, should ensure that they're running version 2.4.3.9.
2.4.39. And I think this affects people who use shared hosting greatly.
Yeah.
So if you are on Linode or Amazon AWS who are susceptible to this, you need to make sure that you're running 2.4.39.
Yeah,
of
well, I
Apache.
mean, I think of how many people have transitioned like their businesses and everything to the cloud.
Yeah.
And how many...
How do you know who else is on that server?
Right.
Yeah.
So how many other server or like companies could be on that one particular server? And if they haven't fixed this vulnerability, like your cloud is now raining on everybody's parade.
Ba-dum-ba. You only get that kind of comedy here, folks. Yeah.
Oh, good time. Astronomers have revealed the first ever image of a black hole that exists in galaxy called M87, which is 500 million trillion kilometers away. It measures 40 billion kilometers across, which is 3 million times the size of the Earth, and has been described by scientists as a monster. The black hole was photographed by a network of 8 telescopes across the world. Details have been published today in Astrophysical Journal Letters. Professor Heino Felke of Rijnmond University in the Netherlands said, "What we see is larger than the size of our entire solar system.
Oh.
It has a mass 6.5 billion times that of the sun, and it's one of the heaviest black holes we think exists. It's an absolute monster. The heavyweight champion of black holes in the universe." There's a title for you. He says, although they're relatively simple objects, black holes raise some of the most complex questions about the nature of space and time, and ultimately of our existence. He goes on to say, it's remarkable that the image we observe is so similar to that which we obtain from our theoretical calculations. So far, it looks like Einstein is correct once again. Having the first image will enable researchers to learn more about these mysterious objects. They will be keen to look for ways in which the black hole departs from what's expected in physics, though. No one really knows how the bright ring around the hole is created. Even more intriguing is the question of what happens when an object falls into a black hole. Professor Felke had the idea from a project when he was a PhD student in 1993. At one time, no one thought it was possible, but he was the first to realize that a certain type of radio emission would be generated close to and around the black hole, which would be powerful enough to be detected by telescopes on Earth. He also recalled reading a scientific paper from 1973 that suggested that because of their enormous gravity, black holes appear 2.5 times larger than they actually are. These two previously unknown factors suddenly made the seemingly impossible possible. After arguing this case for 20 years, Professor Felke persuaded the European Research Council to fund the project. The National Science Foundation and agencies in East Asia then joined in the bankroll of the project to the tune of more than £40 million. No single telescope is powerful enough to image the black hole, so in the biggest experiment of its kind, Professor Shepard Duellman of the Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics led a project to set up a network of 8 linked telescopes. Together, they formed the Event Horizon Telescope and can be thought of as a planet-sized array of dishes. A team of 200 scientists pointed the networked telescopes towards M87 and scanned its heart over a period of 10 days. The information they gathered was too much to be sent across the internet, so instead the data was stored on hundreds of hard drives that were flown to a central processing center in Boston, US, and Bonn, Germany to assemble the information. This is a wild story. I love it because it's tech, it's space, it's collaborative approaches, like it's everything that just makes technology fun.
That they pulled it off too and proved a theory that we've all, you know, just imagined is true.
Right.
Now we know it is.
What I just can't wrap my head around though is the size of this thing. Like it's bigger than our solar system. That is a massive, massive black hole.
Oh yeah.
Like, and I thought that, you know, sinkholes that we find around here, it's like, oh, that's a big sinkhole.
Some of them are pretty big, Jeff.
This thing would swallow the solar system.
To think that it's bigger than our solar system.
Yeah.
The single black hole is bigger than our solar system.
Yeah,
it's just mind-bending. I'm not in physics whatsoever.
Nor I.
Let alone like theoretical physics, and wow, like it just blows my mind. I can't get my head around it. But being a fan of sci-fi and being into technology and seeing how they're using technology to discover these kinds of things and capture them, and be able to process. I mean, they're talking about the capabilities that they have to create algorithms that will now take this imaging data and make it clearer so that it's not quite as fuzzy as the image that we saw today.
Which is wild.
Yeah.
And it's all from radio transmissions. That's nuts. It's crazy.
It's incredible. That's what it is.
It's so much fun.
I want to take a quick look at our cryptocurrency market, how things look this week. So according to CoinGecko, this is what the crypto market looked like as of 1800 hours Eastern Time on Wednesday, April 10th, 2019. Bitcoin gained 37.59 US dollars. It's at 5,270.61 US dollars, aka 61 cents. I can say it however I like. Litecoin is at 83.35 US dollars. Ethereum is at 175.08, losing just $1.46. Monero is at 69.97, staying pretty static this week. And looking at the little guys, Stellite is at 1.62 ten-thousandths of a cent, and our guys, TurtleCoin, are down 0.07 ten-thousandths of a cent, hovering at 1.64 ten-thousandths of a cent this week. Remember, the cryptocurrency market never closes and is always volatile.
Big thanks to Roy W. Nash and our community viewers for submitting stories to us this week. Thanks for watching the Category5.tv newsroom. Don't forget to like and subscribe for all your tech news with a slight Linux bias. And for more free content, be sure to check out our website. From the Category5.tv newsroom, I'm Jeff Weston.
And I'm Robbie Ferguson. Get your Starfleet uniform out of the closet and get ready, because we're going to be taking a look at a piece of kit that you may just want to add to your collection. Stick around. Yeah! Should I just jump right on to the unboxing?
Sure. Or do you want me to... I don't know.
I can do that.
Or if you want, I can throw it to you.
Yeah, you can throw it to me. Do you want to do that? Turn the screen so you can see it. The keys.
Tell me when you're good to go.
Anytime, my man. Anytime.
All right. Robbie, we ain't got enough power. Can she handle it?
Wrong show, lad. Wrong show. I love the look on his face. Wrong era?
Well, we're talking Star Trek.
I know.
Jeepers.
But we're talking Star Trek The Next Generation, Jeff. I'm over here at the unboxing.
Totally messed it up.
Did I?
You messed it up, man.
No, I didn't. Come on now.
Ha!
You got to do Geordie.
Nobody. Nobody wants me to do Jordy. All right. If you are a Trekkie, we have got the thing for you. Let's head over to the unboxing station. Robbie, what can you beam up for us?
Oh, whether you are a Trekkie or a Trekker, I have the Star Trek The Next Generation tricorder replica. This comes to us from Running Press, and you've probably seen these in bookstores, but the ones that I've been seeing are little itty-bitty replicas, and this one apparently is something that I actually want. We're going to find out as I get into the box today, and we're going to see if this is something that you want to add to your collection as well.
Oh, pulling out the knife. So this is like fresh unboxing.
This is it. We've got, okay, Deluxe Mega Kit. So this is not just any Mega Kit. This is a deluxe Mega Kit. What else have we got on the box? Star Trek The Next Generation. Interesting that the text is the original Star Trek followed by The Next Generation. That's kind of just an observation. There's the box there. Ages 7 and up. Yeah, I pass.
Well,
all right.
Debatable.
Yeah, let's get into it. So is it actually... Now, Jeff, I really wanted this because I had a tricorder replica as a child, as someone 7 and up. Okay, we've got stickers. So it looks like some assembly required. So you're going to need an adult, kids. I had a tricorder, but as the little tinkerer maker that I was, I wanted to add more LEDs to it, and so I punctured holes in it and I damaged it up and everything else. Oh, and it has... Oh, it came with batteries. I wasn't sure if it was going to come with batteries. Okay, I've removed the tab. This does not appear to be a replica-sized tricorder, but certainly bigger than the ones that... some of the ones that I've seen.
Right.
Let's open it up. Oh, okay. That kind of looks nice.
Yeah, there's no signs of life over there.
Oh, listen. That's an actual tactile clicking. There you go. Okay, so stickers on. Whoa, it's self-closing. That ain't half bad.
Spring activated.
Yeah. Okay. So how do you put the stickers on? How the heck do you put the stickers on?
If you were Data, you'd be able to figure it out.
Hold it like that. And get a sticker. And... Oh! Okay. Let's look at the instructions here, Jeff, because I know you want to.
Yes.
Okay, they're numbered. Okay, that helps. Well, so we've got a diagram that shows us where each sticker goes. So 1 is going to go... Where's that? Oh, up here. Okay. 1 is going to go up here. There? Yeah, there. Okay. Shall we try, Jeff?
I think so.
1.
Don't put it on the wrong way.
Okay, have I got it the right way?
According to the diagram, it appears you
Yeah,
do.
I seem to. Okay, this one's easy enough.
I love that it's tech show and we're putting on stickers.
Yeah, it's a sticker. So, you know, the replica nature of it, that it's stickers. But these are nice stickers. I mean, this is like shiny, metallic, glossy kind of decals. It's not too bad. Let's see how it looks. Okay, 2. Where's 2? 2 is there. So where does that go? I don't know, Jeff.
I feel like you need to take it home for assembly purposes.
Figure it out.
And then play with it to make sure it works properly.
We've got a little booklet here that has some... I kind of laugh at this, folks. I mean, we've got a picture of NCC 1701. Then we've got a quote by Jadzia Dax.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
funny.
Yeah. So, oh, there's NCC 1701D. What does it say? Okay. At least we're right era. Pictures from TOS. There's TNG. TNG's bridge. Tricorder from TOS. Another tricorder from TOS. Some information. We've got Will Riker. What else do we got here? NCC 1701D. Is that D? Yes, it's only got 2 nacelles. What else have we got? Oh, Beverly Crusher. Some text. A real tricorder. There you go, from the show. open that up and stick it to your wall. Remember back in the days?
It's not that big to stick
Yeah,
to
I
the
know.
wall.
That looks like a medical tricorder. And what else? Oh, Wesley Crusher right at the end.
He made it. Oh, it's the young Wesley.
There he is, the young Wesley holding a tricorder. Well, there you have it. Okay,
Good times.
so let's fade to black and come back.
Where's the fade to black?
No, you don't need to do it.
Oh.
People can watch. Okay, so I just got to figure out where this goes. So 2 is just a box. It's just a square.
You said they're numbered. Just follow the numbers.
You come see what you can see. Okay, 3. I'm gonna need your help anyways.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, this one is important.
This show would fall apart without me.
I know. Okay, you hold it open. What would I do without you, Jeff? Okay. Oh, there's some stickers here that are gonna cover up the LEDs if you don't remove those. All right, you don't need to hold it open just yet.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, there's that. Come on, I'm affecting the stickiness if I'm not careful. Oh man, there's another one. This is some good telly.
So,
All right, Jeff.
okay, which way are you
I'm ready.
applying it?
This way.
It's going this way?
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Oh, look at that. The audio times out.
So unrealistic.
Hold on. It doesn't, does it lock in?
No.
No?
Okay. 4. It's going to go into that space.
You know, the picture shows that it locks in.
Does it?
Yeah. I'm just afraid of breaking it. Oh, there we go.
Did it?
That did it.
Oh,
Just a
Jeff,
little
you
bit.
figured it out.
See, that's why you look at the instructions.
The instructions said to do that?
No. But I looked at that and see it's flat.
Oh. Jeff. All right, 7 goes there. Okay.
What would you do without me?
Jeff, I don't know.
How do I turn the show on, Jeff? Help us, Jeff. You're our only hope.
We may do soldering sometimes. This week we're putting stickers on a tricorder. Huh? It's starting to look like a tricorder, yeah? But you gotta close it and open it. Okay. It's not bad as far as size goes. It's a little small. Okay, so I still have number 2, which I think is just meant to go there. Yeah. That's what it looks like.
Again, read the instructions.
I did read the instructions, Jeff. It's just there. Okay, anything else? That looks like it. That's all the stickers. Okay. We're still rolling?
We are still rolling.
We're still on TV.
Yep. Everybody's enjoying this riveting sticker placing episode.
I know, right? Oh! Okay. Just gotta put these ones in the garbage.
So, that O was not an O of excitement.
No, that was my poor
Where-
old
where
back
the table
from
is.
being bent over.
Yeah, like, where's the wide shot? So, Robbie's all like this, putting the stickers on. He's like, oh!
All right, you ready?
Yeah. So,
Send her back.
all right.
This
okay.
one's not sticking very well, but that's okay.
Okay.
And I'll talk about that.
All right.
Okay. There you are, Jeff. And Jeff figured out that you can actually pull it a little bit harder and it won't close all by itself. Though you can. It clips. There you go. So I've got all the stickers on. I noticed that, like, this one doesn't want to stay, Jeff.
Right. Okay. You may have to press it down at the corners just to...
Yeah. Well, there you have it. It's available at cat5.tv/tricorder. It does look pretty good for a prop if you want to go to Comic-Con or whatever else, or just add it to your kit for your costume. I think that's definitely a good addition anyways. Sweet.
Good times.
I'll bring it with me. I'm going to bring it with me, Jeff.
Yeah, because...
you never know when I'm going to need this.
Well, I can think of very few times
Captain,
when you're going to need that.
I'm detecting no signs of intelligent life. I know, it's old, but
True story.
It still works.
It is fun, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I love, though, that the whole, like, even though that show's been off the air for so long, that it's like, hey, we're going to come up with something that everybody still wants. Because
everybody still does, Jeff. Everybody does. Indeed.
Oh, it's good.
That's all the time that we have for this week, though. Again, you can get that at cat5.tv/tricorder if you want to add it to your kit. I still have another Kingston Data Traveler 2000 to give away.
Love that.
So if you want to pick up one of these, all you have to do is send an email to contest@category5.tv. Tell us your name, where you're watching from, and we would love to cast your ballot for that. A great question came in asking, hey, if I cast a ballot one week, do I have to recast the following week? And the answer is no. Unless you've won, you still remain in the contest until we are out of Data Traveler 2000s, and we've got one left. Thank you to those who have been supporting Category 5 TV. We do need to replace our broadcast server, and it does cost a lot of money, and I appreciate everyone who has been pitching in for that. You can do the same at donate.category5.tv if you've got a little extra that you can throw in the tip jar. We greatly appreciate that, and just mark it for wherever it's needed or for upgrades in the studio, and we'll make sure that that's allocated toward that new broadcast server, which is just going to make things a lot better around here behind the scenes, and it's going to improve the quality of the show as well.
Thanks. 16K.
Not quite. Maybe 2.4 though. It might be a possibility. Thank you also to our patrons who give as little as $1 per month just to support Category5.tv on a recurring basis, and it makes a huge difference, and we appreciate you as well. And don't forget, we are on Twitter at Category5TV. I am personally on Twitter at Robbie Ferguson, and I follow back if you want to follow me. You can catch us on Roku, Kodi, Plex, any other media player. We've got RSS feeds through our website. Category5.tv is where it all comes together. We're obviously on YouTube, on Facebook, and anywhere else. Just do a search for Category5 TV, and you shall find us. Yeah, our BitTorrents are available at torrent.category5.tv if you want to download entire seasons of Category 5 Technology TV. That's available to you as well. But that's it for this week.
Good times.
Next week, we're going to be seeing if those capacitors have come in from Amazon and seeing if we can fix, through some soldering, fix that Netgear, or D-Link. It's a D-Link network switch.
And hopefully Sasha will be back as well.
Indeed.
Very good.
Have a wonderful week, everybody, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye. A quick intro?
Oh, yeah, intro.
Oh yeah, I have to push this button, and this button, and this button, and this button.
What? Okay.
Had I pushed the right button the first time, I would have only had to push one button.
Okay then.
But I pushed all the buttons until I found the one that worked. Because that's how I roll tonight.
That sounds very
technical. It's kind of how I roll. Yeah. Welcome to Category 5 Technology TV. This is episode number 603. And this week, we are going to be looking at a couple of different things. First of all, we're going to be taking our BitTorrent seed server that we made back on episode number 597 to the next level and creating a network-attached storage out of it so that we can actually access those BitTorrent downloads through our Samba if we want to access it from our Windows Explorer. If we want to access it from our Linux computer or our Mac, we can actually load those files directly without having to figure out some fandangled way to transfer them. Also, I'm going to be cracking into an old D-Link switch
Yep.
to see what's going to be needed in order to fix it, because apparently
It's
it
not
doesn't
working.
even turn on. And we have a little bit of kit for your Star Trek fandom, so you
yeah.
definitely want to stick around. We've got a lot of great stuff coming up for you tonight. Stick around. I said stick around twice, but it's okay.
It's okay because they're sticking around.
Don't go anywhere. With the close-up shot. Don't go anywhere.
That wasn't close up.
I know. I pushed the button, but it didn't work. I have to go like that, and then like that, and then like that, and don't go anywhere.
You just like pushing
Thanks,
the
everybody.
buttons.
Yeah, push all the buttons. Push all the buttons, yo.
Oh, right. Good times.
Well, the stickers on the top, because of the curvature of it, don't seem to hold very well. Maybe I just need to, like, hold it there longer? You think so?
I don't know.
We'll see.
I find sometimes, like, see, I see that there's a bit of an edge there where it's lifted up, so you haven't quite placed it.
Oh, it's my fault now, is
Well,
it?
no, when that happens, because you've got that air gap underneath there, so you need to seal it, you know, thumbnail or something just to
Oh, yes. Yep.
create that firm edge.
Cool. Ah, thanks, Marshman, for pointing that out.
That's my technical.
So everyone who's watching this at 11 a.m. on Saturday... oh, well.
What?
Oh, I said tonight.
Oh. Whatever.
The sound effects are great. Cute. He's on his device, I'm on mine.
Mine's intelligent, though.
Come on!
I didn't say you weren't intelligent. I said mine's intelligent. All right. I have a DQ order, and it closes at 9, so...
Oh, get out of here. It's only 7:27.
Got to get me the DQ!
Thanks, everybody. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, magnificent week. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Jeff.
No problem.